On today's edition of Fit Happens, we'll be going for a run in the park. We'll be looking at some gym exercises for the back and for biceps, and we'll be cooking up something healthy and meaty. Hi, and welcome to Fit Happens. This is the show where we hope to inspire and motivate you to increase your fitness levels and reduce your fatness levels. My name is Chris Zaremba, I'm the head of Fitness Over 50, and I'm joined by Keith Cormican.
Hi Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well.
That's good. Now, I want to find out a little bit more about yourself. Tell us about your own background and where you came from. How did you get involved in fitness?
It's a long story, but I know we've only got a minute or so.
Give us a short version.
You get the short version, okay. When I turned 50, I was very fat, overweight. I was technically obese at 17.5 stone, about 110 kilos. I decided to get a lot fitter, thanks to a doctor's warning that told me I should do. I hooked up with a great personal trainer and found a way of losing a lot of weight. I've got a picture here of a couple of pictures of what I looked like in my olden days. Woo. This is me on the left, 17.5 stone.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, hard to believe. And on the right, that's me with my lovely wife.
That's a great set of abs you got on there.
Absolutely not. And me on the right with my wife. I call that my Eamon Holmes period, by the way, the one on the right.
They are very similar.
I do think it looks like Eamon Holmes.
I see the resemblance.
But that, as I say, was in the bad old days. I started doing a whole lot of exercise, a whole lot of cardio, a whole lot of weight training, and I started watching my nutrition a great deal. And over the next 3 to 4 years, I changed my body shape a great deal. And I've also taken my fitness to new levels in terms of my personal training. So I've set up a personal training business and fitness consultancy. That's
great. Well, it's inspiration for anyone that's over 50 that thinks that they can't. It's too late for them. I think it's inspiring stuff.
Thanks so much. We now have a question from Matt, a guy who already does a lot of exercise.
My question is, what's the best exercise for abs?
Well, Matt, thanks for your question. Abs are a very interesting area to train. It's an area I've had a lot of focus on over the past 5 years or so, and I think I must have tried around about 100 or maybe even more different abs exercises. But let me talk about 3 that I find seem to work the best for me. I'm talking about 3 because I'm dividing this into the upper abs, the lower abs, and the side abs, or the side abs also known as the obliques, in fact, the correct term for them. So for the upper abs, it's any exercise where the chest is effectively coming down towards the knees. So the movement is from the upper body down towards the lower body. And for me, a fairly basic crunch it works for me, lying flat on the floor and curving your upper body down towards your knees. Knees in a slight pyramid. Hands can be either out in front of you or can be on your chest, or to make it harder still, have it by the sides of your head. So that movement is for the upper body, for the upper abs. And the key thing to do is do the exercise fairly slowly, do it as slowly as you can actually, and keep it low both at the start of the movement and at the end of the movement. That's the upper abs. Moving down to the lower abs, this is the opposite if you like. The upper body remains still, and this is where the lower body, the legs, come up towards the chest. This can be done in a variety of ways, but my favourite is using a chair, such as a Roman chair, which is what one of these devices is called, where you're lifting your legs such that they come parallel or almost parallel and being lowered, again, more slowly back to the starting point. A lot of pressure being put onto the lower abs here, so do that slowly and do it carefully and lower more slowly than you raise. If this is too hard, by the way, you can do it with a bend in the knees, so that your legs don't have to be stuck straight out, your legs can actually have a bend in them at the knees. So we've looked at upper abs and we've looked at lower abs. Let's look at the obliques or the side abs. Again, loads and loads of exercises for this. This is the one that I prefer. It's where you're leaning to and fro between the vertical, moving one direction, then you move in the opposite direction. And once you've exercised the obliques for one side, obviously you turn over and you exercise the obliques for the other side.
Good morning everybody and welcome to parkland number 251. Yay! Stop!
What?
Hey, I'm now joined by a very hot and sweaty Chris. Hi Chris, how you doing?
Yeah, very well, very well.
So tell me, you've just done a run.
I have. I've just done the 5k park run here at Black Park. It's not too far from where we live. It's a 5k run that I've been doing every Saturday.
It's a weekly thing, yeah?
Yeah, I've been doing it every Saturday for the past 3 or 4 years now.
Right, okay, so how did you get into running in the first place?
Oh, it's a big story, but as you know, 5 or 6 years ago I was very overweight, so I was technically obese, very unfit, and I decided to get fitter once a doctor had warned me that my health was at risk. So I started running because my wife Jenny already did some running, so that really helped. Yeah. And I got into running and I started in the 5Ks here. my first 5K here I did in about 48 minutes.
48 minutes?
Yeah, that was pretty slow.
And today was which?
Well, today was 23:54, which you can see from my time.
So it's a bit of a you've improved on the 48.
So it's pretty much half of my starting time. Exactly half of my starting time. Okay. So I've come down from 48 minutes to 23:54. I've also now done about 110, maybe 112 of these 5k park runs. So
hence the t-shirt.
I've got the t-shirt on the back.
Right.
It says I've done the 100, clocked up the 100 park runs.
Right, so you're a proper professional now then, right?
I wouldn't go that far,
And you do marathons as well though?
Well, I did my first 5k about 4 years ago. About 3 years ago I did my first 10k. 2 years ago I did my first half marathon, and last year I did my first marathon. Right. And this year I've got 3 marathons planned.
So you're a passionate runner now, you're a proper advocate of like getting into running.
I am. Running is a great way of getting fit.
So tell me, what do you like about running that you prefer to other types of cardiovascular activities, like as opposed to like cycling or swimming?
Well, I think running is just one component, because I also do cycling and I do swimming and I do triathlon sometimes, which merges together all 3 of those.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you know that I'm a big fan of like cycling.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, as opposed to running.
And so I do cycling and I do swimming and I do running as well, and triathlon. But of course I do a lot of stuff in the gym as well. So I'm a big believer that fitness, all-round fitness, requires both some cardio work, which is running and cycling and swimming and so on. And also weight training in the gym too.
Then last question then, like your calorie wise, because like if you're doing your running and you're doing your cycling, do you adapt your calories accordingly? Like you're going to take in twice as many, well maybe not twice as many calories, but you're taking in more calories because you're doing so much physical work.
I don't really change it, because this level of physical work that I'm doing now is what I've done consistently now for the past 4 or 5 years, and that's really how I've changed from being being very overweight and being unfit to being pretty fit and to being fit. So,
but what I'm saying is, if you were only doing like weight training activity, would your calories be slightly lower than what you're doing because you're doing your running and your weight training? You obviously you adapt.
Yeah, probably. I mean, my typical calories at the moment are about 2,700 a day, which is probably more than most people of my size would have. But I'm doing more activity than most people. Yeah, because I'm usually doing some cardio activity, whether it's running around this park or running around another park or maybe on a cross trainer gym. I'm usually doing some of that usually every single day. Right. And I'm doing some weight training every day as well. So by adding the 2 things together, I usually end up with more activity than most people. Yeah. And as a result, I burn more calories.
Would you eat before you do your run?
In the morning I don't know. If I'm doing a morning run like today, or if I'm going to the gym to do some cardio work on a cross trainer, no, all I'll have is something either as a fat burner supplement or maybe some black coffee, but I won't have any calories.
Black
beforehand.
Coffee, good fat burner, natural fat burner.
A natural fat burner, yeah. I mean, there's a strategy which I'm a big believer in called fasted cardio, which is basically delaying breakfast until after you've done your first bit of cardio exercise. So for me, it's now getting on for 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for 3 hours, getting pretty hungry, haven't eaten yet.
I was just about to say, you're ready for a bacon sandwich now or something then after this?
I think I'll go for one of your breakfasts, one of your power breakfasts.
Power breakfast, it sounds even better. So you must be hungry. Listen, you've earned your breakfast, so take it easy.
Thanks very much.
Have a good breakfast.
And I'll see you later.
Soon.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
Our question now is from Danny, a man standing right by his fruit stall.
Hello, I sell a lot of fruit here, and the question I'd like to ask you is fruit really that healthy?
So, Danny's question is a great one about fruit, because people do think that fruit is the most saintly of things to eat, because we're told to eat 5 portions of fruit and veg per day. So people think fruit is absolutely fantastic, and first of all, fruit is far, far better than many things, but it doesn't actually deserve its totally 100% saintly reputation, because fruit's got lots of great things in it. Fruit's got things like vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, chemicals we don't even know what they do yet, and it's packed with fibre as well. So lots of great things from fruit. Add to that, it's an entirely natural product. So lots and lots of good things with fruit. There are just a couple of bad things with fruit which stops me telling you to have unlimited amounts of fruit. First of all, it's packed, unfortunately, with sugar. And the sugar that's in fruit is called fructose. And fructose is the one type of sugar that is most likely to turn to fat within the body compared to every other type of sugar. So fructose is not the best thing to have if you're trying to lose some weight. And the other thing that's not that wonderful with sugar is that sugar has the ability to turn off a hormone in the body called leptin. Now, leptin is the hormone that tells the brain that you are full when you've eaten something. So if you eat lots and lots of food, by the time you're getting full, leptin will kick in and tell the brain, stop, okay, you can stop eating now, I'm full. If you have fruit, then the action of leptin is cancelled, it's removed. So you will never ever feel full by eating fruit. So fruit is great. Lots and lots of good stuff in fruit, lots and lots of great stuff, but there are also one or two bad things as well, especially that fructose and the ability to nullify the effect of leptin. Welcome to the Fit Happens Gym, and I'm joined today by Manoj Ketkar. Manoj is going to look at some of the exercises for the pull group. The pull group is those part of the upper body muscles that were used for pulling things towards us, and those particularly are the back and the biceps. So if you think of things involving the back, we're pulling something from here towards us, or we're pulling from up down towards us. In both cases, we're pulling something from far away towards the core of the body, towards the chest. Also, the biceps form part of the pull group as well. From here, curling upwards, we're bringing a weight or resistance towards us. The final one of the pull group is the posterior deltoids, the rear parts of the shoulders, where we're pulling a weight towards us this way, and the shoulders are going further back that way. We also include in the pull group, even though it's not technically a pull muscle, the lateral deltoids, which are the deltoids at the end. As we raise weights this way, that really isn't a pull or a push, but we put it into the pull group. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at back, biceps, and part of the shoulders, all part of the pull group.
Sounds good.
Weights.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We're going to do the single arm dumbbell row exercise for the back, one of the pull groups. Got to form a tripod. Got a straight leg fixed to the floor there, bent leg on the bench there. The third leg of the tripod being this arm. I'm going to pick up the dumbbell. I'm going to raise it such that it touches my hip bone, and then lower it again. It doesn't touch the ground. One of the key things to do is to make sure that we don't move too much in the shoulder girdle. In other words, we're keeping ourselves nice and level here. We're not moving up and down. We're not assisting the movement by moving parts of it that aren't meant to be involved in the exercise. So, hand on here, keeping that leg straight. Bring the dumbbell up. Now we keep the leg straight. Bring the weight up to the hip bone. Lower it more slowly. And the key thing we're not doing, as I say, we're not rocking at all, we're not inducing any motion that way or forwards.
Okay,
yeah.
Give it a try.
Give that a whirl.
Is that low enough?
Yep. Now try and keep the whole shoulder area stable and horizontal. That's better, but again, you're moving too much on rocking the shoulder area up and down. The only thing that should be moving is the upper arm and the elbow joint. That's better. Are you touching the hip bone with each rep?
Yeah.
Right. Perhaps we need to do that with a lighter weight for you. But you've got the general principles of the one-arm dumbbell row.
Okay, thank you.
An exercise for the back, specifically for the lats. You've heard of the lats exercise, the lats muscle group. This is going to be worked a lot in this one. Although that does work other back muscles as well. It's the wide grip pull-up. Now, people who are very strong, in fact, averagely strong, can do this without assistance.
Okay.
Today, we're going to show you how to do it with assistance using this device, which is the assisted dip or assisted chin or assisted pull-up machine.
Okay.
It works by kneeling on the pad, and the weight resistance makes life easier for us. We grasp the top handles in such a position such that the upper arms will be vertical once we start the exercise. Kneel on the pad, take our weight on the top, lower away, and pull ourselves up to when the weights touch. And stop shy of the weights touching, that works too. You should feel this all the way through the back. As I said, particularly the lats as well.
Okay.
You dismount by taking both feet obviously off the kneeling pad and stand on these pedals.
Okay, we'll give it a try. Arms about here.
Yep. So you've got vertical arms. Kneeling, take the resistance. Pull up. Exhale as you pull up. Don't let the knees come closer. Don't bend at the waist. Bending at the waist is a sign the weight is too heavy.
Not enough help.
Okay. That's it. So again, we could have probably changed the weight on there to give you a little bit more assistance.
More assistance there, I think. Yeah.
But well done, great. Right, I'll do the barbell bicep curl. Barbell bicep curl is one of the pull group of exercises because it's working on the bicep, or one of the pull muscles. We stand with our feet hip width apart, feet pointing forwards, the upper arms welded to the sides of our body, and the elbows tucked in, curling upwards to here, then lowering more slowly to the start position. Making sure throughout that the elbows remain locked and the upper arms are welded to the sides of the body. There's no body swing, we're not dipping backwards and forwards, and the shoulders aren't contributing at all. So there you go. Barbell bicep curl.
Yeah. Is that width about right?
Make sure it's matching width, that's it. Right, now your shoulders are coming forwards, your elbows are moving, so keep that much more stiff, much better. And again, you're leaning back a little bit there, so try and keep the rest of the body still. That's, again, there's a lot of induced movement there. Try again, keeping that still. Yeah, you've got the general idea, it's probably the weight's a bit heavy for you. We'll change the weight over. But you've got the general idea.
Okay.
Great, thanks. Right, we're off to the sunbed shop now, and we're going to speak to Emma, who has a question which I think is going to be of interest to lots of people.
My question is, I want to get more tones, but I don't want to get more muscly. Is weight training still a good idea?
Okay, thanks Emma, good question. In general, women are different to men. That's what I would say in general to that. So I would go for a higher rep range if you're going for muscle tone as opposed to muscle bulk. A low rep range between the reps of 6 and 8 is going to actually build your size more so than if you're going to go for like a 10 to 15 rep range in the gym. Also remember that women have got different hormones to men, so you're not going to put on as much muscle mass as men are in general. So don't worry about turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden if you're just going to pick up a dumbbell. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. If it does, then, and you're not injecting or you're not doing anything else like this, you're not taking in 15,000 calories a day or something crazy low end of the level, or if you're not taking in 15,000 calories a day on the other end, so you're not going to gain massive muscles. Hi, what's up guys? Welcome to Fit Happens, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Keith Cormican. I'm joined again today by Mr. Rob Chalmers. How you doing, Rob?
Good man, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good stuff.
Good to see you. Okay, what we're going to go to for today is we're going to do a healthy recipe which is not geared towards vegetarians. Now, I'm hoping that you're not a vegetarian.
I'm not, Keith, no.
Good man, yes, good man. There's nothing wrong with being a vegetarian, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of people that I've worked with that are vegetarians. You can get your protein in via vegetarian sources, but it's a lot easier if you're able to have meat. So today we're going to have some good, proper Irish meat.
Good stuff.
Good red meat. And we're going to combine that with something different to spuds though. We're not going to do sweet potatoes like I know that you're a fan of sweet potatoes. I'm going to give you a variation. We've got some fresh pasta.
Cool.
Again, it's quick, it's simple, it's easy. Anyone can do it. It takes minutes to cook and it's really good for you as well. It's a carbohydrate source, but you're going to combine that with your protein. And the protein of choice, going back to that for just for 1 second, is we've got some chicken livers. Have you ever had these?
I haven't, no.
Okay, you've had chicken?
Yeah, quite often.
Well, this is chicken livers. It's actually got a lot more iron in it, so for being an athlete, it's something that you actually want to be getting. It's red meat, but it's, as I said, it's quick and easy. It doesn't even need much cooking.
Okay. It's
also really reasonable, so if you're on like a budget of a diet, it's something like £1 if you're in England, it's about £1. If you're in America, $2, something like that. So it's quick, it's easy, you can get it at any supermarket, and it's really good for you. I'm a big fan of it. It's a bit chewy at times, but as I said, it takes minutes to cook. So, show you how quick and easy it is. What you want is a simple bowl like this. I'm sure everyone's got bowls like this in their kitchen. We've got the water boiling for the pasta. In fact, what we'll do is we'll go for the liver first, because it's, as I said, this is the most important macro. So we'll open the box. Just slit it open with a knife. It's red meat, so if you're cooking fish, make sure that you do it completely separate, because this is like red meat and you want to keep them separate. What we'll do is, there's 2 of us, so we'll throw the whole lot into the bowl. After this is, what we can do is we'll cover that, so I'll get some aluminium foil. So we've got some aluminium foil. So we'll take this out, and this is just basically to cover it, so when we put it into the oven, it's not going to go all crispy on the top. So what we do is we'll throw this into the oven, and while this is cooking, so what we'll do is just throw this into the oven. So what we've got here, Rob, we've got the fresh pasta, we've got the water which is now being brought to the boil, which is fine. This pasta I prefer over to the other pasta. I don't know, do you not use normal pasta usually?
I'll go brown pasta. Fusilli is normally one I go for.
Yeah.
I'll do that one, but I'm open to any time.
But as I said, I mean, I like fresh pasta because it cooks a lot quicker, and it's a lot closer to nature as well, rather than all that the freeze-dried pasta. I like to try and get some vegetables in with this as well. Yeah. So we're going to do that now. We're going to. The liver is almost cooked. As I said, the liver does not take long to cook at all. So I've got just some basic salad here. You can cook the salad. I tend not to, because I like to, as I said, trying to keep everything as raw as possible. If you say it's a bit tasteless, get over it. You know, it's good for you. Learn to like it. It's like people that say I don't like water, it's tasteless, it's boring. Learn to like it. You know, it's good for you. It's going to do you good long run. It's cooked. It is cooked. So it's going to be really hot. These new modern ovens are great because they kind of cook 3 times quicker than anything else that I've ever been used to. So I'll make sure that we'll put it on it. We'll see the steam coming out. This is the liver. So when we take this off, it should be pretty much cooked. Yeah, it is. I can smell it here now. Smells like a beef eater restaurant, which I know a lot of my Irish family used to go to. Serve you up a bit. Oh, this looks just so good.
Get it on there.
You need building up, boy. I'll give you some of this. I'll just throw the whole on. I'll give you, help yourself to any more that you want, if you need some more. Let's try and keep this kitchen tidy. You know, people aren't aware of it, you know, they don't think go with the chicken livers, especially, I mean, if you're a vegetarian, obviously you're going to stay away from anything like this. It's good. Listen guys, give this a try at home. I want to thank Rob again for joining me. Again, it's always a pleasure having you in my kitchen. Join me again next time and might show you some like nighttime meals or something like that. But it's, as I said, it's always a pleasure.
So, thanks for watching. Keith and I are off to do a 5k run in the park, hopefully in less than 30 minutes. And we'll see you again next time on Fit Happens.